All right, so this is SAT practice test 4, question 1. The question reads: The spacecraft OSIRIS-REx briefly made contact with the asteroid 101955 Bennu in 2020. NASA scientist Daniela Della Giustina, I don't know if I pronounced that right, reports that despite facing the unexpected obstacle of a surface mostly covered in boulders, OSIRIS-REx successfully blank a sample of surface, gathering pieces of it and bringing it back to Earth. So, if I had to put a word in this blank, I would probably choose something like the word gathered. So, this is a strategy that you're going to want to remember for vocabulary questions. I would recommend thinking of a word that you could place in this blank and then moving to the answer choices. So, gathered would definitely fit the description. Now, I'm going to compare that word gathered to the answer choices. So, we're going to eliminate answer choice A. That does not match with gathered. Collected could definitely be our answer. So I'll put a dot here, but we're going to read all the answer choices. Followed is not the best answer choice here, and replace also is not the best answer choice. So that gives us our answer B. Research conducted by planetary scientist Katerina Milkovich, I'm not sure I pronounced that right either, suggests that the moon's surface may not accurately blank early impact events. When the moon was still forming, its surface was softer, and asteroid or meteoroid impacts would have left less of an impression. Thus, evidence of early impacts may no longer be present. So, which choice of the text most logically and precisely completes the blank? So, in this first point, we're saying something, and that's going to be backed up by the second sentence. So, what is the second sentence saying? That we're probably not going to be able to see evidence of early impacts. Not sure why that highlight didn't work so well. So this means that we're saying we can't accurately depict early events. Depict would be a word that works, or predict, something along those lines. And the strategy that I would always recommend for vocabulary questions is to put a word in the blank. So now we have our word in the blank. Depict is the word I've chosen. Now we're going to go to the answer choices. Reflect is a great answer choice, so I'm going to put a dot next to it, but I'm going to read the rest. Receive does not match the word that we've chosen. Evaluate does also not match the word we've chosen. And mimic also doesn't match the word that we've chosen. So our best answer choice is going to be reflect, answer choice A. The question reads: handlelessness, a preferential use of either the right or left hand, is typically easy to observe in humans. Because this trait isn't present but less blank in many other animals, animal behavior researchers often employ tasks specifically designed to reveal individual animals' preferences for a certain hand or paw. So, the word that I would use to fill in this blank is obvious because they're trying to find tasks to figure out their preferences, and they're saying it's pretty clear in humans. So, the word that I would put there is obvious, and now we're going to compare that to the answer choices. So, answer choice A, recognizable. That definitely is a solid answer choice. Answer choice B, intriguing. That doesn't fit. Answer choice C, significant. Possible. We'll leave it as an option, but I think I'd definitely go with recognizable. And then answer choice D, useful, doesn't make much sense. So, between answer choice A and answer choice C, I would go with answer choice A because our word that we chose here is obvious, and the key is that we're talking about how easy it is to observe. So recognizable would be our best answer here. The problem reads: It is by no means blank to recognize the influence of the Dutch painter Hieronymus Bosch on Ali Benisadr's paintings. Indeed, Benisadr himself cites Bosch as an inspiration. However, some scholars have suggested that the ancient Mesopotamian poem Epic of Gilgamesh may have had a far greater impact on Banisadra's work. Which choice most completes the text with the most logical and precise word or phrase? Ignore my reading, I always mess this up, but when we try to solve these vocabulary questions, the strategy that I always recommend, especially when you're practicing, is to input a word in this blank that you think best fits. And the reason I like to do that is because vocabulary questions come down to two parts: understanding the text and then understanding the answer choices. So by adding a vocabulary word, what we can do is we can see which part we're going wrong in. So let's say I choose a word here, and then I go and check my answer, and then the word I chose here doesn't really fit the word that needed to go here. Then I know that, okay, I'm not understanding the passages as well as I need to, so I need to work on my reading comprehension. But if the word that you choose does fit, and then you just didn't know what the answer choices meant, then you know, okay, I knew what word was supposed to go there, I just didn't know the answer choices. So maybe I need to spend some time working on my vocabulary. So that's why I think it's important to choose a word that goes here. Now, the word that I would choose for this would be something on the lines of ridiculous or foolish, basically saying that it is okay to recognize the influence of Dutch painter. So, going through these, substantial, I would not choose this answer choice because we are saying that it is important to recognize the influence of this Dutch painter. So saying that it's not substantial is not fitting with our understanding of the text. Satisfying, again, this word does not fit the context. Unimportant, that is an answer choice that works very well. But like I always recommend, read every single answer choice. And again, appropriate is the opposite of what we're trying to say. We're saying that it is appropriate to recognize this Dutch painter's influence. So saying that it is by no means appropriate would not be correct. So we know that our answer is answer choice C, unimportant.